Will AI take your job? I had this conversation with an Uber driver yesterday. I think like a lot of business owners are like, oh, how can I replace my biggest cost of employees to how can I basically lower costs? Like a lot of times for business owners, their biggest cost is their employees. My opinion of it is like, there's a reason why you have those people in your building working for you. And like, if AI can automate some of their tasks, your first initial thought shouldn't be, okay, how can I fire these people? How can I lay these people off? It's just a bad way to think. It's like, my opinion of it is like, take the productivity gains of AI and what it can do for your business, and let's go out and make more money. Let's win more business. If you're not confident in your market where you can take an increase in productivity and go out and win more business, then you shouldn't be in business. That's a fact. Like, we can go through some of these things, but like ultimately on the business owner side of things, that's how business owners should be thinking. And I guess, if I'm giving advice to somebody, okay, how can I not let AI take my job? Instill that mindset and culture inside of the company that you work for. But there's a lot that goes into that.
What's something humans provide that you think AI can never?
Something humans provide that I think AI could never provide, I guess it's human connection, and I think that a lot of that goes into how you interact with people, the relationships that you build. The reason why I'm doing a lot of this content stuff is because of that, because I think that AI will end up, taking over a lot of things, like, and the world will look completely different. And putting yourself online, I don't think that's ever going to go away, and that's a big reason why I'm doing this side of things. But when it comes to specific tasks, it's like, you want to learn how to do sales. I don't think that AI will ever get to the point where, maybe it would. But my Uber driver yesterday was telling me about his buddy that went to China, and essentially over there, it's like they don't even have people working at the front desks anymore. It's like you go to a hotel and you're talking to a computer. You're going to, Chick-fil-A, like we're about to go to right now, and you're ordering from a screen. You see that a little bit in the US right now, but over there it's even more prominent. So I think like the main thing that will stick around is human connection, and like how you connect with people, and how you can communicate to people. I don't think that's ever going to get replaced. If I was giving advice to somebody how to not let AI take their job, so if I was giving advice to somebody over the next couple of years on like how to not let AI take their job, like over the past year, I've gone and automated like major tasks from people, and essentially like their job functions AI can now do. Like, I've done this multiple times this year, and those people, they didn't get fired because they're good workers, they're good employees. If you're always putting 100% in, like the tasks that get automated. So that's the most important part, is like making sure that you're doing more. Makes sense? Every single task that I've automated for people, it's hard from my perspective, because what ends up happening, it's like the business owner, they're like, oh, but they're still buried in work. But these people end up taking on more work. It's like the, what's it called? But like when you add another lane to the highway, more people end up taking that highway. It's the same concept. You know what? I kind of am worried that people are going to get replaced with AI. From what I'm seeing, a lot of people are just resistant to the change. People are scared of it instead of leaning into it. The best workers over the next couple of years are going to be the ones that can use AI for their job function and like lean into it, rather than, like, that's the people that I want to hire. That's the people that I want to keep around. When I talk to business owners, that's the people that they want to keep around, the people that are using the tools to make them more efficient. And what happens a lot of times is, if you're not in an environment where the business owner is investing in you as the employee, then you should honestly get out of it. And if you don't even have the tools, like if you don't have a Claude subscription, like if your boss isn't getting you a Claude subscription, you should quit. If your boss isn't getting you a ChatGPT subscription, you should quit. It's been now, like 3 or 4 years of this stuff being out. It's the best technology that's ever existed. Business owners have no problem paying Microsoft $30 a year or $30 a month for each person or whatever software that you use. I mean, I think that's one of the biggest things. So if you're in an environment where the business owner isn't investing in you and these tools and like enabling you how to use them, but it also goes to like the point of, okay, how can you invest in yourself? How can you teach yourself these skills? You know, I think a lot of it comes down to watching videos like this. You know, if you're watching videos like this, you're already ahead of like 90% of people, I would say.
What can I get started for you?
Can I do a 12 count nugget meal?
For the drink?
I'll do sweet tea.
Sweet tea? Anything else? Good. What's gonna be the drink for that spicy sandwich, man?
Can you make the fries a large? And can you add American cheese?
I think that's it, yeah.
Okay, any sauce at all?
Yeah, a bunch of Chick-fil-A sauce.
Your total's gonna be $23.82. Have a good one.
Thank you, you too.
Cute. You're all set. Have a great day.
Thank you, you too. And what I think is like, everybody is scared of the wrong thing. They're scared of like, everybody's scared of the wrong thing. It's like, AI is going to take the part of you that's sitting there doing your job on autopilot. Like the part that you're just, like it's the mind-numbing tasks that people are just sitting there and mindlessly clicking through. It's like, can you take a task that you've been doing for however many years, give that to AI, and then can I spend my time on something that's actually more fulfilling? So I think if I were to give any advice to somebody on not getting AI to take their job, it's one. So like if half of your day is like filling out Excel sheets, writing formulas in Excel sheets, organizing stuff, then you need to be thinking about, okay, how can I give those tasks to AI? And honestly, the easiest way to do it, like it's never been easier, to be honest. Like you can now click through your computer. It's insane. You can click through your computer, talk through the task, and basically train AI like as if it was just an employee. It's insane. It's called Teach Claude a Skill.
Here, there's beverages for you. So it looks like, unfortunately, we are waiting on fresh nuggets to come up for your order. So
All right.
I am going to ask you to go ahead and park in any of the lettered spots on the other side of the building. Just have your flashes and I'll log everything else out to you, okay?
Cool, thank you.
Those nuggets ready, man.
Yeah, AI is going to replace those people. Let's get over to the mobile pickup parking. So like if your job is basically forwarding email, putting stuff into Excel sheets, organizing, you have to be thinking differently about things. You have to be learning this stuff because it's never been easier to automate tasks. If you figure out how to automate tasks and you know what skills are inside of Claude, you'll be fine. The people that don't learn that stuff, they're like, oh, a lot of times it's like the older generation. They're about to retire, but like they're like 55 years old, maybe like 57, and they're like done. Those people, they just don't care about this stuff enough. But if you're like young and hungry and want to make a difference, like it's never been easier. The opportunity has never been easier to do that. So I guess like back to not letting AI take your job. If you learn how to automate stuff, that's number one, you should be fine. Number two, AI is always going to need somebody to check it. And sometimes like, oh, okay, AI is checking itself. But at the end of the day, somebody needs to check that final product. If you're the person that's signing off and putting their name on those things, then you'll always be valuable. So if you're the person automating the tasks, and then you're also the person auditing the tasks, you'll be fine.
What would you say to the people who are resistant to the change?
This stuff is just going to become the norm. It's like the same stuff happened with computers. The same stuff happened with, it's like, a lot of people are like, oh, I'm old school. And why do you have a $2,000 phone in your hand? You know, if you're old school, where's your flip phone? Why do you even have a phone? If I were to still be walking around with an iPhone 5C, would I be old school? It's just going to become the norm. AI is going to become the norm. The people that are like, oh, I'm old school, you're not old school. You're just a year behind. If you know at some point you're going to be leaning into AI, then why not just start today? No, it's like computers weren't a thing 20 years ago. Now, everybody has a computer. Or iPhones weren't a thing 25 years ago. Now everybody has an iPhone. AI wasn't a thing 5 years ago. Almost everybody today has used AI in some shape or form. Actually, no, that's not true. AI wasn't a thing 5 years ago, but you know, I think in 10 years, everybody's going to be using AI every single day, whether you like it or not. I think in general, humans are afraid of, I think the same goes for me. It's like, why do I think I think humans are afraid of change. I think they're more afraid of uncomfort, being in uncomfortable situations. They're afraid of something new. It's very easy to just get stuck in the same routine every single day for people, rather than, okay, how can I make a change in my life every single day? You have to be comfortable with change. And a lot of people, they just lean into the comfort side of things. Kieran.
Sorry, what was his name?
And the third point on not letting AI take your job, I'd say it's to be creative. And I think this goes along with the uncomfortability things. It's like, you have to find new ways of doing things. You have to be comfortable with doing things in a new. And I think when it comes to being creative, a lot of it has to do with problem solving. If you're able to be creative enough to solve a problem with AI, you have to be creative enough to find another problem. There's always going to be a problem that you can solve, always a process that you can make more efficient. Kind of goes back to how I like to operate. A lot of times when I start a consulting engagement for AI implementation, it's like, okay, what does this look like 3 months down the line when you've solved all of my problem? That's what the business owner goes like, or when you've delivered on what you've delivered on. And for me, it's like, my strategy is there's always going to be a problem I can solve. There's always a process to make more efficient. There's always a lever that you can pull to drive revenue to the business, or to save yourself time, to free up time to drive revenue, or save money. But honestly, I think a lot of it goes to how can I use my skills to help drive revenue to the business. And if you're able to drive revenue to the business, no matter what, whether it be sales skills, marketing skills, then you're always going to have a job. You're always going to be able to make money. I think we can leave it at that. I mean, at the end of it, it's like, how can I drive revenue? If you're driving revenue to the business, you're fine. AI is never going to replace your job.